just one of
Nothing
those,
in life is perfect, Tony.
Nothing in life is perfect. Have you heard the thing about like you can have something good, fast, and cheap, but you can only have 2 of those things?
Right.
You can never have 3. So if it's good and fast,
It's going to be expensive.
it's not going to be cheap.
This is true.
If it's cheap and good, it's not going to be fast. If it's fast and which one have I missed? Cheap and good. No, I've done that one. Which one have I missed?
If it's fast and
Cheap?
cheap,
It's not going to be good.
there you go. What about Duhan van der Merwe? He's pretty fast. He probably gets paid pretty well.
He's not cheap.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Duh. Mark, you're thick. God. Sometimes I'm just so dumb.
My favorite thing about the comments last week was everybody giving you shit about the whole chasing the thumb.
And then someone else said that the thing you said wasn't actually even right. It's about something Nelson Mandela said. It's not just about Japan. It was like a double entendre.
It was a double entendre.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So it wasn't just about Japan. It was actually more Nelson Mandela.
It was like an onion, was it?
The South Africa Japan thing was a happy.
So it was like an onion? What do I mean by it? It's like an onion. It has...
Oh, what's the word? Layers?
Yes.
I'm not actually that dumb. I'm just dumb some of the time.
We were doing a live stream once, and then there was someone was behind like 21-19.
Yeah.
And they had a penalty kick, and I was like, well, they'll get the lead here. And you're like, no, I don't think so. They'll be... And I was like, no, 3 points.
That doesn't sound like me.
No, you got some basic arithmetic wrong.
That doesn't sound
And then
right.
you did your whole... Man, I'm dumb.
Okay. Well, the fact that I've forgotten it, jeez, I'm dumb sometimes.
But no, you're a clever chap. But you're Are you a
I
little
have
blonde,
my moments. I don't
blonde
know.
under there?
I feel like everyone's a bit dumb sometimes.
I'm dumb a lot of the time, so don't feel alone. And to those of you, someone out there right now is currently doing something really dumb. They might be making a coffee in the morning, and they might be trying to put like some instant coffee into a cup, but actually they have put sugar instead of the coffee grinds themselves, and now they're like, well, that's not right. And they're sitting there thinking to themselves, man, I'm dumb. So for all you people out there,
You've just seen a double down. I'm pretty dumb. I can wear glasses, so I get away with it sometimes. People think I'm...
and you are clever. You know, you have some stuff going. I feel like all of a sudden we're trying to build you up. We've broken you down.
Nah, break me down. Just leave it down there. It's only up from here.
That's where you need to belong.
That's exactly right.
There's something...
It's just how I like it.
You're like, man, you're into like BDSM and shit. That it's well like to be punished.
Not quite that bad. I would rather...
Tell me I'm an idiot.
I would rather be people kind of think I'm a bit dumb, and then when I do stuff, they're like, oh, that's actually pretty smart, rather than people think I'm clever and get constantly disappointed.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
I like... But the good thing about me is people think I'm pretty thick a lot of the time. And
Right.
And then when I come out with something that isn't thick, they're like,
Wow, that's actually pretty good, Tones.
it's not as dumb as I thought. But then I open my mouth a lot and they're like,
That's
just what I thought. Just what I thought. But there's isn't there a famous, I don't know, everyone attributes every famous
better
saying
to be...
I was about to say attribute it to Winston Churchill, but I don't know if it is Winston Churchill. When in doubt, just say it was Winston Churchill. Or Malcolm
Marx.
their famous orator. What is it?
Karl Marx?
It's better to be
Malcolm
thought
X?
of. It's better to be thought of as a dullard
Then
rather
open your mouth
than
and
open your
confirm
mouth
it for everybody. Yeah.
Then remove all doubt.
That's it. That's the one. I've heard that one before.
It's a good one. Dullard. It's not a word that's used enough. What do you think of this beer today, Mark?
It's crafty.
Somebody has stumbled over this video just out of the blue, and you
Thinking,
don't,
oh, these guys are going to talk some Six Nations.
or
Jeez.
even if you didn't even know it was a rugby podcast, you'd be like,
These are two thick guys.
"It's two idiots talking absolute dribble." And even for them, this is
Two dullards.
you can like imagine we get this like engagement chart.
Yeah, it's just falling off the cliff.
This is just it's not usually I go like this. This one's just
You're already at the bottom of the
straight.
cliff, pretty
yeah,
much.
absolutely. If you're still here riding it through,
You might need to question your own life choices.
move on. Save yourself an hour and give your kids a hug. We were actually talking about Bluey before this podcast.
Bluey's a cracking... You asked me, do you know what's a good kids TV show?
Yeah.
And you didn't give me any hints or clues, and I was just like, Bluey.
Bluey.
That's the one you were thinking of.
Best thing to come out of Australia.
I think so.
It really is. It's just, yeah. Well, I was saying that the dad in Bluey makes me feel like it inspires me to be a better dad. He's always sometimes you can see he can't be asked, but he gets into it and he just has energy for his kids.
The best kids TV shows are the ones that hit 2 levels.
Yes.
They got the real basic jokes for the kiddies, and then they got a little bit of adult humor sprinkled in that you don't really notice.
They've got layers.
Layers, just like an onion. Oh, it's all coming full
circle.
circle.
Oh my god, that's a throwback.
Wow.
Jeez Louise, I feel like if we talked about rugby, we'd ruin this podcast, you know. But we do need to talk about rugby at some stage.
There was a lot of rugby on the weekend.
Yes, and you're wearing a Scottish jersey.
Because it's piddling down outside.
That's why you're wearing a Scotland jersey. It's interesting when you wear a Scotland jersey in New Zealand when it's piddling down outside, you still get wet, but you get a shitload of heroin given to you as well.
Oh, that's how that works. I've seen Transporting.
Yeah. You got all that heroin on the way here as well?
I've even seen Transporting too. That was quite cool.
I haven't seen it too.
Yeah.
It's shite being Scottish. That's one of my favourite lines.
Yeah. I just like it when he craps the bed and then he he's trying to hide the evidence. Spud.
Yeah, that's great.
It's cracking. Some of the listeners are younger than that movie.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of those movies I watched when I was like 12 because it was on Sky and I didn't really know what was going on.
Oh, really? I don't know.
I watched it again as an adult. I was like, it's
people
about
think
drugs.
the English are... What do you mean you didn't know it was about drugs? It was clearly about...
I might have got it a little bit, but I wouldn't have got it like the full context. I'm sure I would. I'm pretty dumb. No, very sheltered. Sheltered.
That's another callback to you being dumb before.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
There's no... What's the opposite of an onion? Like, I'm just like a piece of A4 paper. Like, oh, shit, that's it. Let us know your thoughts. Because I don't have any moan.
You're a piece of pita bread.
There you go.
Yeah. Even that has layers of...
I envy the pita bread. Rugby!
Rugby!
I think we go with the internationals.
Yes, there was a lot of rugby in the weekend.
Time zones were not friendly to those.
They were not. I did not watch a single game live.
Okay, I watched them all live.
Well, look at you.
Well, not Super Rugby.
Hey, man.
I watched some Super Rugby delayed.
Look, hand on the shoulder for this guy. I'm proud of you this week.
He's dumb, but he can get up at the call of an alarm.
Exactly. If you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. Well done. I'm really proud of you for doing that. Because you know what's really uninspiring thing to do is wake up on a Monday morning in the wee hours to watch Italy play.
I really, really, really didn't want to get up this morning to watch Italy-France. Like the alarm went off and it's the first...
Couldn't believe the result.
Usually when the alarm goes off, I'm like, rugby, right, get up, put the kettle on or get my AG1 or whatever the hell I do. I've got to, it's boom, it's game time.
You got to get my sponsor's product into the system.
I've
make a few investments with eToro.
Watch me on NZR Plus.
Exactly. Have you got your VPN sorted?
I haven't done VPNs for a while actually, but VPNs are useful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't want to get up this morning, but that game made it worth it.
I didn't even consider getting up this morning, and I am part of a rugby podcast. I didn't even remember that it was on this morning. And then
you got spoiled to the result.
And the result was spoiled, and it was like...
How did that happen?
I just saw a headline saying, shock result, shock kick hits the post.
Right.
Denying Italy a historic win. Or something along those lines. And I was like, what? And then I texted you from the shitter.
Okay.
Yeah, I was shit scrolling. That's scrolling while you're taking a shit. And then I text you going, is this... What? And asked you if it was worth watching.
I said watch the highlights because a lot of the game, like it wasn't the easiest on the eye stuff.
Well, I'm glad I watched the highlights then because the highlights were actually quite entertaining to watch. But, and then I couldn't quite, I was like, even watching the highlights, because here you see, okay, this highlight happened in 3 minutes and this highlight happened in 22 minutes and this highlight happened in 44 minutes and that they'll kind of go in relatively
even chunks.
But it was like 1 minute 30, 3 minute 50, 9 minute 90, 12 minutes. It was all. It was
start of the game.
all France, like boom, boom, boom,
Yeah,
and they were looking like they were just going to run riot.
That's literally what the game was. Like they scored one early try, which was a little bit fluky, a little bit dodgy.
Looked like a rabbit to me.
Yeah, and then like they were just like they had stupid amounts of territory and possession. They were just hammering the
like they were
Italian
all over
line.
them.
Like if you watch the Wales-Ireland game, it
Yeah.
was the same vibe in that, in that first half, Ireland were just making so many carries. And then eventually Wales would concede a try. Whereas in this game, Italy just didn't concede a try.
They just tackled all day.
They just tackled the house down.
Well done, Italy.
Unbelievable.
And then they managed, and the try that they got, my man, Capuzzo.
Capuzzo.
Capozzi.
Capuzio.
Capuzza. Kappa. Kappa.
We just call him Kappa.
Yeah.
I think it's an Italian clothing brand, isn't it?
We
Kappa.
called Kappa.
Cool,
And then it'd be called, and then if he was in New Zealand and people wouldn't be able to call him Capuzzo, they would start calling him Cappuccino. And then his name would change to Chino. And then they'd be like, let's just Chinos, let's call him Pants. And then he'd be called P.
Okay.
All of a sudden.
Which is the New Zealand slang for methamphetamine.
He's fast. Yeah, he is.
Scored a nice try, you're right.
That was a lovely team try.
It was. They finally got the hands going because they'd done that before. They had a heap of ball in the second half, but they would just muck it up. That's why I said, like, maybe highlights.
So tell me...
Especially if you know the result. If you hadn't seen
Yeah.
the result, I would have said, absolutely, you need to watch it.
No, I knew the result, but it looked as though that they were right into it. And I knew that there was some sort of controversy with the kick.
There was two bits. I mean, France didn't do themselves any favours by getting Dante red carded. So
I thought that was... I know technically hit
Yeah,
on
that
head, he's
wasn't-
upright, but it seemed like there was a lot of shoulder-to-shoulder contact first and just a little kissing of the face.
when I saw it, I thought, ooh, it wasn't one that you look at it and go, oh, geez, he's gone.
Yeah.
I thought, ooh, maybe. And then start of the second half, they just said, well, he's gone. And I thought, well, maybe Italy's best chance. And yeah, it was their best chance.
Low. Yeah, I would have called yellow on that myself, but I'm not a...
20-minute red, maybe?
We'll have a
20-minute red. Which doesn't mean Dante gets to come back on. He's still
20-minute
red
red.
carded. Just someone else can come on for him.
Do you think there could be technology in the future that could limit women's periods to 20 minutes, and then they could call it 20, like a pill, and then call them like 20-minute reds, and then you'd be like, oh my god, it's come back.
My
around.
dad's watching this right now. Geez, that guy. Mark's trying to keep him on the straight and narrow, and he just goes on these tangents.
I'm sorry, Gaza. Sorry. 20-minute red.
20-minute red, maybe.
Every time you say 20-minute red, I'm thinking of this context in the future.
So you mentioned the kick.
I also mentioned 20-minute
You may
red.
not have got, if you only saw the
So
highlights.
yeah, tell me
you may not have
up
got
and
the
down.
full thing. So France have got the ball in their own half. They don't want to draw the game. Like the Italians have scored, great conversion from the sideline, ties the score up, less than 10 minutes to play.
They were attacking. I saw they were attacking inside their own 40.
Yeah, so France obviously didn't want to take the draw. They wanted to go for the win. Zuliani gets himself over the ball. And the ref, which I don't think is like necessarily an easy call to make, because if you blow that penalty, you're potentially giving Italy a chance to beat France in France. So pressure call, but he's like, no, he's on the ball. Penalty. So
Can
Italy...
I tell you how I saw the call though? Mm-hmm. He gets over the ball, he picks up the ball, and he gets the turnover.
Mm-hmm.
He was clearly in possession of the ball.
But I think the French guys weren't kind of releasing, right? They weren't kind of letting
I just
him
thought
up.
I just thought it was a turnover.
Okay. You thought it was clean pilfer?
Yeah, I thought it was a jackal who got over the ball. He got a bit. There's going to be a bit of a wrestle to get it up.
You think if you give him a bit more time, he comes away with it clean?
He had it. He had it over his hand. He was purely in possession himself. He wasn't trying to lift it up and he got the ball. Play on. It's a turnover. That's what I thought. That would have been nice. But he was playing it for the penalty.
And he got it.
He got the penalty.
Very kickable.
100% kick. Now this is so. What I saw in my replay was not what happened in the lead up to the kick. Not like this is a pressure kick. This is what's going on. All that sort of thing. For some reason, the Sky broadcasters and when they did their extended highlights package, which is 12.5 minutes, there was some sort of kerfuffle. He goes to pick up the ball. He drops back. Guys are running up, and he's taking a kick. What led to that? How did this all go down?
So weirdly, it's in closed roof stadium.
Yes.
So I'm thinking no wind, although I've been down to Dunedin and it's quite windy down there,
Yeah.
even though it's got a roof on it. But I'm thinking there's probably no wind.
Maybe
But he's got the ball on the tee.
Yes.
The shot clock's kicking down. There's like 15
the
seconds
shot clock,
left.
Yeah.
And it just falls off the tee.
Oh.
So one of the French guys, I guess, thinks ball live. So he comes to charge him down. And the ref's like, no, you can't charge down.
Let's reset the pill, though, isn't it?
The shot clock's still ticking.
But you do an early charge, then you reset the whole process.
That's what I think a lot of people would be calling out for. Well, with conversions, you charge down early. You can still take the shot, and if you miss, you can take it again. We saw it against Ireland 10 years ago. With penalties, it's not quite like there's nothing about charging down for penalties because you're not allowed to charge down. The rule basically just says you're supposed to, while he's taking the kick, while he's running up for the kick, you're supposed to just stand there still with your hands by your sides. You're not allowed to shout.
But he hadn't done anything to propel the ball forward.
No. But the ball definitely wasn't live because he hasn't taken the kick yet. So the guy's not allowed to get within the 10 meters to charge him down.
Yeah.
So the referee tells him to bugger off, and the Garbisi kind of looks at the ref like, oh, shit, what do I do? And the ref basically just says to the TMO, like, oh, I don't know, I can't see the time on the clock, how much time is left. Which I'm guessing probably puts Garbisi into panic stations like there could be 2 seconds left, there could be 10 seconds left. I don't know. Like if the ref had said you've still got 12 seconds, then at least he would know. But the ref didn't know how much time was on the clock. Yeah. Maybe he should, maybe he shouldn't. Maybe the ball shouldn't fall off the tee in an indoor stadium. I don't know. But he puts the ball back on the tee, and then by this stage there's like 8 seconds left. And then another one of the French guys starts kind of approaching him, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
And then there's
a water carrier there as well. I was like, what are you guys doing? So then his teammates kind of tell him to back off, and then he approaches to take the shot, and it hits the post.
He snaps that. That's piss poor.
But the law just says that you only have to stand still when he's actually going in to take the kick. So I guess technically, no one actually moved while he was taking the kick, but they did still, I think, infringe.
100% they infringe. And also, I think sometimes we're losing our common sense in the game. They're like, I feel like Nigel Owens would have just wanted blah blah like.
Let's reset the
clock. Oh, that was an absolute mess.
Yeah.
Look, I'm resetting the shot clock. Let's go with it again. I have no idea what happened there. Let's just give him a chance to do this, fellas. And then that would have been it. And we'd be like, that's what the penalty was for.
I feel like that's the common sense call, but I think if you're following the laws, the ref's only got 2 choices.
What?
Either play on, take the kick before the shot clock expires, or you penalise the French guys for infringing, and then he gets to take the kick again from a spot 10 metres forwards.
Okay, we'll do that then. Like, I think penalising, not in the term of actually applying a penalty by the referee, but in the sense of it being, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it just goes against Italy, who are the team who are actually trying to, get the good result from
a lot of people were pretty perturbed about that.
That sucks. I'm perturbed.
Would people have been so upset if it were England taking that penalty to beat the Italians on full time? And then,
absolutely not.
And Owen Farrell.
Absolutely
if Owen Farrell mucks that up, I think people are saying, how are you putting the ball on an indoor stadium and it falls off the tee, you dickhead?
Yeah. But people love the underdog, and I think a lot of neutrals are pretty keen to see the Italians win a lot of the time. I'm
getting distracted.
I am getting distracted. Yeah, a lot of people were just like, they're the underdog. We want to see them get up. Kind of dying for them to put some performances together that are actually going to...
it would have been magic to see them win it.
Help them really cement their spot as well, even though, they have a spot. But give them some legitimacy. And
it would have been nice.
But what about France? They've gone from beating the All Blacks in the opening game of the World Cup.
Going into the World Cup as a favourite. 1 point lost to the South Africans.
They should have lost to a team that the All Blacks beat by 90 points in the World Cup.
Even with 14 men, I think the All Blacks at the World Cup would have done a pretty convincing job over the Italians.
Yeah, I don't think...
Is that arrogant for me to say, or is that realistic?
No, when you beat a team by 19, I think freaking 12 players would have beaten them. It's... I don't know. Maybe the new coach. What is it? Who's the coach now?
Quesada.
Quesada. Like,
Gonzalo. Quesada. I don't know why I said it in the James Bond order, but there you go.
Shaken, not stirred. Yeah, it is a bit of a shame. Who have they got next?
The Italians will host the Scots.
All right, okay.
Both sides who will be pretty burned, I guess. Like people are saying, man, France, that's 2 games in a row. They've had kind of like a last minute call go their way.
Yeah, imagine if they lost to France and sorry, they lost.
Yeah, they could be winless. They genuinely could have been winless thus far. They've really fallen off a cliff.
They have big time.
Concerning.
Psychological damage there.
I mean, no Dupont, no Aldrit for this one, but still. France at home should be beating Italy.
When does he even?
Yeah, Intermac as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they've gone from diamonds to rocks, but they've still got the English. They'll try and get up for the English. Who have they not played? They haven't played Wales. Yeah, Wales and England. They haven't played.
Yeah, they've got Wales next. So.
Can they scrounge? They could still win the whole thing if somebody gets up over.
I think. I mean, it's mostly England, Scotland are both on 1 loss, and the Irish are unbeaten. So,
jeez Louise.
Did you watch the Irish?
I did watch the Irish.
31-7. I don't feel like the Irish got out of third gear, and they still get bonus point win.
No, I thought they looked a real scrappy line out, but definitely not. They looked like they were in third gear, and they did it relatively easy against a Wales team that turned up to play and still got beaten comprehensively.
Yeah.
Just on the same league.
Some encouraging signs, though, for the Welsh youngsters. A lot of tackling.
Yeah, they did. I thought
held the line for ages when it's like, they're going to score here. Like, even the commentary team were like, they're sure they're going to score here. Like,
they defended stoutly, but in those moments when they were defending stoutly and they kept on, defending phase after phase after phase after phase after phase, you'd think to themselves, okay, they just got to get a turnover here or wait for it, get a knock on or force some sort of...
Even just slow the ball down because the speed of the ball for the Irish was incredible.
But they just couldn't get any look-ins at the breakdown, and it would take a while, but the Irish would score. And all that, stout defence that they were putting in, like hard graft, hard work, would just be for naught, and they would go another 7 points down.
Yeah.
And what was the most and they were obviously playing with real intent and turned up to play and all that sort of stuff. And they got some players. What was concerning for me was when they had chances to score, they just look as imaginative as a freaking accountant that's never seen the sun.
They never really looked like scoring, did they? I mean, they got the penalty try.
But they just they had opportunities to score. They had a lot of pressure on the line, but it was just one out running from the ruck, sending those little pods from the ruck, and they were just going nowhere. There was the back line was offering absolutely
to break that Irish
shit.
defense. You're going to need some X factor.
And they had zero X factor. They had no factor. They didn't even have the D factor.
31-7. They almost didn't get a bonus point win, though, the Irish. They scored that last try pretty late.
Oh.
So, there's that. They still got it.
They did. And I was sad because they looked like they were really trying. I think...
Ireland had a couple of yellow cards, didn't they?
Yeah. And I thought... I think Warren Gatland's past it. I really do. Nah. He's just an old fuddy-duddy who...
I don't buy it.
Well, what's he got? What's he offering?
Give them a couple of years.
Oh... That sucks, man. Imagine the All Blacks. We'll give Razor a couple of years to have a successful season.
It's a different kettle of fish.
Well, they're both rugby teams. The professional rugby teams from small populations that are obsessed with rugby. I would suggest
the New Zealand depth is probably a bit deeper than the Welsh.
Maybe, but I don't know. They can't keep their best players. They're having a rough old time. And I think Warren Gatland, I was never a fan even at his height of his success.
You just don't like Warren.
I just...
Old Wazza.
Gets on my tits. But even at the height of his success, whenever they play the All Blacks, a big thing for me is
how well... comes back to the All Blacks, doesn't it?
How well you play against the All Blacks.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Not well.
You're
like Grand Slams for Six Nations. Don't count for shit.
Well, that's an All Black fan.
That's an All Black fan.
I'm an All Black fan. Okay, well, you won the Six Nations. Nice. And then you got...
Come back to me when you've won a World Cup.
Yes.
Oh, brutal.
Well, come back to me when you haven't lost by freaking 30 points against the All Blacks.
Right.
Like, come back when you put in some sort of performance against the All Blacks. Like, and they would get over that period. They would get convincingly beaten by the Aussies, the South Africans, and the Kiwis.
They had a really long losing run against the Australians. I remember that.
Yeah, and they would, like, sure, in your own conditions with the patriarchal,
The old patriarchy.
the
Damn you,
parochial
man.
support. And I love the Welsh, and I
I think
think
you say you love the patriarchy.
I think that he did some good things for them. He got them going in the right direction. He got them victories in Europe that they hadn't had for a while. But they were ready to move on. And I know Pivac didn't do a great job, but did he do that much worse than what?
Yeah, he was losing to Georgia, so...
But he won a Six Nations.
Yeah,
He beat South Africa in South Africa,
that's true.
and he had an off day against Georgia. I don't like, maybe Pivac wasn't, but at least they were playing at a more expansive style. Like, just at one out rucking, let's just be the best at the effort areas. Like, yeah, rugby is about effort and stuff, but it does, when you're playing another team that's just as motivated as you are and is just as professional in those effort areas as you aim to be,
It's not going to get
but
the
are
job
just
done.
a shitload more talented than you and have a butt-ton more X factor, you're going to be able to hide into nothing, and you can put in all the effort in the world and it ain't going to work for you. Come round, Besh. I'm quite rough on Wales.
Dark days for Wales.
I want them to do well. So, you're hardest on the ones you love.
Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Hope your daughter's doing all right.
My daughter.
You love her. You must
Yeah,
be really hard on her.
No, I'm not hard on her though. I'm soft.
You don't love her?
No, I mean.
Oh, jeez, your logic's just gone out the window.
Well, you brought my daughter into it. It really threw me a little bit there.
Scotland, England, did you watch that one? Duhard, 3 tries, loves scoring against England.
Duhard van der Merwe. Yeah, what a freak. He loves playing England.
He loves playing England.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's,
And you know
some of
what's
those
also
crook-
funny? Like, so many South African fans also love him scoring against England. They just love it.
Because that's them winning.
They're so chuffed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way? Or just before we... I wanted to give Bundy Ikea a little shout.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We didn't really highlight many of the players, but Bundy was great. Gibson Park was busy.
Yeah,
Crowley looked...
James Lowe was great, and there were some other Irish players. No, Crowley.
Ty Byrne was phenomenal, even though he got the yellow
got
card.
the card.
But still, I thought he was immense.
I like Crowley a lot. I really like Crowley.
He's giving you a Calendoris.
Him and Calendoris. Boy, oh boy, what a night that would be. He's so good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm talking about Crowley. Like, I think, how old is this guy?
He's, I think, younger than 25, pretty
He
sure.
his kicking boots are better today.
Yeah, he got that
He's-
a lot better.
It's not. I wouldn't describe his boot as pure.
No, he doesn't kick it real... Yeah, it's not attractive.
Yeah,
But it went over the...
They're kind of like, he's like the Gavin Larson of kickers. Do you remember Gavin
That's
Larson?
him, just a little medium...
Like dibbly dobblies.
Yeah.
Gets the job done.
That's it.
Relatively handy.
That's a really obscure New Zealand cricket reference, but I got it. I got it.
Yeah, look up Gavin Larson, everybody.
He was going grey when he was like in his late 20s, I think. Not that I judge. You can't control that.
No, exactly.
Hair dye's there for a reason.
Yeah.
My wife found some greys in my hair the other day.
Oh Jesus! You give yourself this. Did you not want me to expose this to the crowd? You cut your own hair, don't you?
You know what I did the other day?
Can we go backwards, Gav?
Jesus Christ. I'm fucking 40 years old, man. What are you
Let
doing?
me do it.
Oh, goodness gracious me.
This is
It's
bad.
awful.
Don't let it stay like that for the rest of the
Oh, that's
episode.
awful.
You look so cool.
Well, I cut my own hair, right?
You look like Poochie.
If you guys are listening to the podcast,
Yeah, I've put his hair on backwards.
my cap is now backwards. This is like abuse.
Your hardest on the ones you
And,
love, man. Sorry.
Yeah, I did cut my hair the other day.
Yeah.
I always give myself a 3.
You went a little.
This is
Can I
shorter
give you
than a
some-
3. Hey.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
So, you know how the Clippers have the guards?
Yeah.
Right? And the guards have got numbers on them?
You got your numbers wrong.
So I was looking, there's fucking heaps of guards. I was like, not this one, not this one, not this one.
Yeah.
I grabbed one that had, this is me being dumb again. I saw a 3. So I was like, that's the 3. And I was like, looks a little shorter than I remember, but I still put it on, cut my hair, literally felt the areas that I was cutting, goes, feels shorter than normal, but I wasn't clicking that I got the wrong guard.
Yes.
The 3 was not like the number 3. It was 3 millimeters. It's a fucking number 1.
Nice.
Dumb as dog shit.
That's okay, man. Yeah, because that does look quite. It is pretty short. Can we
pretty
have a look at
short.
it again? Can we
Yeah,
see it
it's
again?
pretty short.
And it's very hawkish. Like you've almost given yourself a mohawk. Like you
Nah,
go.
it's not a mohawk.
It's pretty close. Nah. It's pretty damn close.
It's just short on the sides
Look,
and
you're-
longer. I mean,
this is how wide it is on top.
yeah.
That's a mohawk.
It's
Pretty
not
much.
a fucking mohawk.
It goes like this. It needs to be like a little further down. Give yourself a bit of a fade.
I can't do a fade.
Can't do a fade. Maybe you could go to a barber.
Yeah,
Spring.
I'm too stingy.
Yeah,
I'm a married man. I don't need to have good hair.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't have good hair either.
just another example of me being a moron.
Well,
Like the signals were there, and I just don't pick up on them. Just dig that hole deeper.
it's okay. You wear a hat most of the time.
This
I wear a
is
hat
true.
most of the time too.
This is true.
Hat buddies.
Yay for hats.
What
What were we talking
You're not drinking
about?
this beer very quickly.
Sorry,
What do you think of it?
it's a bit crafty.
It is a touch crafty. I'm moving on to the second one. We're drinking. If you want to send us some beers, we'll drink them.
We can't. People have asked about shipping them abroad. You can't ship them abroad, like internationally.
Why can't you?
I've had 2 guys send me beers and they never got here. I'm assuming they were seized by customs.
Just wrap them in a bunch of. I was about to say.
No, don't smuggle stuff.
Yeah. So this
Duhan
is
van
Laughing
der Merwe.
Pones. This is a Pilsner.
Duhan van der Merwe.
Oh boy,
Love scoring
he
tries.
is exceptional. That try where he.
In some games.
I know he's a flat track bully.
Yeah.
he's a flat track bully against it.
In the games when he's good, he's really fucking
You
good.
think
And then
yourself-
other times he
you
just
think-
goes a bit quiet.
Because I remember he scored that try against England again
Yeah.
last year, and I wasn't that familiar with him at the time, and I was like, this guy
Is
is the
amazing.
best winger on the planet, and he wasn't for the rest of the year.
Mm.
He's good. He's definitely worthy of a spot.
Yeah.
Then that guy turned up again, and he's just big, powerful,
Yeah.
and quick as fuck.
Yeah.
and
for a guy
great
that
on
size
his
to be
feet.
that quick. Yeah, he's really dainty, I think is the word I
Yeah,
used
well,
one
he's
time.
light on
Yeah.
his feet. Like
Yeah.
they're just, he's like a
A man
ballerina.
that size shouldn't be that quick and that kind of agile.
Yeah, he's like Jonah Lomu-esque in terms of, I wouldn't call Jonah Lomu
But the same
dainty.
vibe, right? A big guy who's really quick and is deceptively, agile.
Just a freak.
Fun to watch.
Really fun
when
to
he's
watch.
like in that kind of form.
Yeah, and I would have really liked to have seen him be like a star at the World Cup. Second
Trouble
round
is,
for you?
they had Ireland and South Africa in their pool, and I think those are 2 of the teams. I haven't run the stats, but I feel like he doesn't get as much go forward against those guys, the
Because they don't
big
get,
boys.
yeah, I guess what he really needs is opportunities, and you get opportunities from front football. Although that one that he got was just off the first one. Was it the first or the second try? Second try where he
Turnover ball, he just like went around being all
just absolutely gassed him.
Yep. Well, he's a number 8, so
Who was the new 15 for the English?
Furbank.
I like the look of that chap.
He was
The
the one
English-
who was the one who knocked it on for that try.
I thought the English started that game really well. I thought that the
Proper hiss and a roar.
I thought the Scots just hadn't turned up for a long period. They couldn't get anything going in their game.
No, that's right.
But 4 Calcutta Cups in a row.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's not supposed to be the thing.
The thing is the thing.
I've been doing videos for, I do like the last 5 matches when I do international previews to see what's the recent record. And it was always like England 4, Scotland 1.
Yeah.
Now it's fucking 4-1. No, it was 4 and a draw? Yeah, 4 and a draw.
4 in a draw.
That's nuts.
4 victories and a draw nil.
Yeah,
Wow.
crazy. Go Scotland.
Go Scotland. It's have they how many games have they lost? 2, haven't they?
Scotland.
Yeah.
They just lost the 1 to France. The dodgy, the contentious
Yes.
TMO called the death.
So when are they playing Ireland?
The final round. So that could be a decider and like
Grand Slam.
potential Grand Slam game for the Irish. And in a world where Scotland finally breaks their duck against Ireland, that French result could come back to haunt them. You know what I mean? Imagine if they beat Ireland away for the first time in donkey's years.
It'd be great. They'd deny them the triple threat as well, which dancing, singing, acting. So what other things on the line on the Triple Crown, Grand Slam,
Six
Nations, and the Calcutta Cup? Is there anything else?
The Calcutta Cup's already in the bag for the Scots.
Nice. I quite like the look of the Calcutta Cup.
I think it's like the Bledisloe. Yeah. It's like the biggest trophy that's talked about within a big competition.
Do they have, you know how we've got the Edmund Cup and the Freedom Shield and shit
so.
as well? It's weird. The Freedom Shield, I just want to beat South Africa.
Freedom Cup? Yeah, I never consider it.
It's just about beating South Africa. It's not
basically,
about,
it doesn't.
But for some reason, when you beat Australia, like,
and a trophy? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a big trophy.
Yeah.
What do you think of Faye Waboso? Emmanuel Faye Waboso, the English winger who comes on and scores their kind of late try.
I think he was good.
Right.
What else can you say? Really? What did you think?
He, I think, looked more effective than the other two wingers combined. So I want him to start. He's had 3 games, all from the bench.
What's preventing him from starting?
I think because he's new.
Really?
He's not really
young?
kicker. He's very young, yeah.
If you're old enough, if you're young enough.
But yeah, maybe
good enough, yeah.
Borthwick likes Daly, who's got a big old boot on him.
Yeah.
So, but Faye Waboso, man.
I was really impressed with the way England was playing for long periods of that game. But they just switched off on defence a couple of times. Got beaten.
The cross kick one was pretty sweet.
Finn played pretty well.
Hugh Jones played really well.
He also dropped the ball in his own 40. I'm really hard on him for some reason. Like
on Finn?
Yeah. When he drops, I'm like, that's him. But then I might see him do 10 really good things. I'm like, I think I might be wrong about this guy. Yeah. Where do you sit on that? All that?
I like Finn.
Yeah.
Finn's divisive.
He wins me around every game.
Okay.
I see him muck up at the beginning. I'm like, same old Finn. Oh, well.
But yeah, that was the Six Nations.
Look, we got through it. But now the real rugby has started.
Super Rugby!
Rugby I can watch on a Friday night.
Yeah, no stupid time zones.
No stupid time zones for me and that guy.
You watched some games?
I did watch some games. I didn't watch the opener. I watched the opener.
But didn't watch Chiefs Crusaders?
No, I watched the opener, but I watched it delayed because the cricket was on at the same.
Fuck the cricket, man.
Pumped in the cricket too. We got them out for like 148 or something, and we had a shocker, absolute shocker.
Why do you bother with this? Cricket's all right.
We were going to do a live stream, but my daughter was having some eczema stuff, so it would have been a longer put down. But a mate of mine came round, and then he was like, "Oh, the cricket's on." I was like, "Oh, God." Hello, 2CGD fans. Just a small announcement from me. We completely screwed the pooch from this point onward, audio-wise. So it sounds a bit dog's balls from here on out for the next, half an hour or so. But we do talk an enormous amount of nonsense. Not a lot of rugby stuff, enormous amounts of nonsense. So if you can handle that, and you can handle it sounding a bit like it's coming through a tin can, feel free to keep listening along. But if you choose to turn it off, I don't blame you. Anyway, fair warning. Ha-da-da. I watched the cricket with him. And I just sat there swearing at the cricket the whole night.
Right.
And then I was like...
I did a live stream with my dad.
I heard it. I saw that. I saw the... afterwards, I was like, oh, did you do a live stream? And then I tried to watch it once my friend went back and I'd had a few drinks with him and I was like... It was really good. It was really good, but I wasn't as attentive as I should be.
Oh, it was great rugby.
Really, really good rugby.
33-29.
What a difference it made when Mackenzie went off.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, Chiefs didn't look the same without him, but Quintu Paia was back.
Yeah.
He looked good.
Yeah. And look,
Crusaders looked to be written off and then boom.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. I was like, they're gone. Then I was like, no, the same Crusaders. Ooh, yeah, finally it's over. I was like, long live the king. The king is dead. It was I thought it was changing out. Then I was like, then they came back, and I was like, I had this sort of sinking feeling in my stomach. I was like, they're still the Crusaders.
Yeah,
they're still the Crusaders. And yeah, it just turned out to be a cracking game. Wonder what the result would have been if Macca stayed on the pitch the whole game. Some great tries. Some really attractive rugby.
It fell a little bit into the trap of the Super Rugby defence optional. Like,
Touch footy.
yeah, some of those tries were a little bit, like, bloody brilliant to watch attacking rugby, but you'd like to see...
I know we get it. They get grief for that sort of shit, right? But that...
Yeah, the whole thing goes, we say Northern Hemisphere rugby is boring,
Yeah.
and they say we don't bother defending, so...
Well, they don't bother defending. A lot of those teams don't bother defending us when we play them as well. That's why we put 90 points on Italy, or like that's why we that's the All Blacks are one of the most creative attacking teams of all time because they're harvested in an attacking environment constantly over time, and it's all about attacking skill sets and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, defense is a huge part of it, but then if you're slightly off your game, defence-wise, in the Northern Hemisphere, and you come up against the All Blacks or even the Australians when they're in the mood, you can go, get points on you quick.
So you like attacking rugby, don't you?
I like attacking rugby.
It was pretty good. Good crowd in Hamilton.
Yeah.
So, good start to the season.
You know a game I really enjoyed this week? I enjoyed the Highlanders in Moana Pacifica.
Highlanders and Moana Pacifica. That one was strange in that the Highlanders have had a cracking pre-season. Moana Pacifica have got a heap of guys who've never played Super Rugby before, and talk was they're going to get pumped.
But they did not.
I mean, they lost 35-21, but they were leading at half-time.
Yeah, and I think that scoreline slightly flatters.
Flatters the Highlanders a wee bit.
And I'm not saying that the Highlanders played badly.
Yeah.
I thought that Moana Pacifica played really well.
Played really well in the first half.
They played really solid rugby.
Yeah.
Good decision making throughout, good kicking. They had what's the name of their number 10?
Reece Patchell.
That's the Highlanders.
You mean the Moana Pacific 10, William Harvey.
He was slotting his threes.
Yeah.
And just a little bit of scoreboard pressure. That went a long way to keeping them, keeping the Highlanders under control. But a couple of fabulous tries. I thought Patchell.
Yeah.
God, the Welsh must be.
He's made for Super Rugby. Like, of all the Welsh 10s, like, he's made for Super Rugby.
That outside ball he does the 15. Holy stuff.
Yeah.
Mate.
He must be loving it.
Sprayed some Kalen Doris all over the walls. That was lovely. That really was. And that other try, they had the backwards pass from Fekitoa.
Yeah.
Not from Fekitoa. Fakatava. Oh, that was
pretty sweet.
That was glorious.
Yeah.
Really.
Watch some Super Rugby.
It's
There's
so good.
some great rugby on.
Just watch the highlight packages.
Yeah. And watch my weekly team announcements brought to you by NZR Plus.
He puts the plus in the NZR. So basically...
I'm also on NZR Plus's app.
Yeah.
My face is on that app with my whiteboard.
There's whiteboards in it.
Yeah.
You should watch it.
So yeah, download NZR Plus and tell them 2 cents sent you. Not that you can, but I did.
Right on their All Blacks page.
Yeah.
2 cents sent me here.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was this team?
Yeah, exactly. Pick a team.
Yeah. Pick a team. If I was you, I would pick... Because people don't want to pick the Crusaders.
You don't want to go Crusaders because they always win.
Don't pick the team that's going to bring you the most success.
No.
And you probably don't want to pick all.
You probably don't want to pick like the Rebels. You probably don't want to pick the Force because it's going to you'd have to. If you like punishment, then those.
If you're really into some like deep BDSM.
If you want to celebrate like.
If you want to put your balls in a vice and just squeeze them into.
Then that's maybe a team for you.
Yeah.
The Brumbies, if you want an Aussie team, might be a good shout.
Yeah, if you want to go through the pain of a team going into administration receivership.
If you're a Wasps fan, then maybe the Rebels will feel familiar. That's probably
reminiscent.
Sorry about that, but they had 4,000 fans show up because they only were able to sell tickets like a day before the game because they weren't even sure they were going to be able to play there.
Gee,
they lost 30 points to 3, by the way.
I don't know much yet.
Brumbies were very good. Corey Toole, he's very fast.
That's
very fast.
Oh my God! Did not know this was happening. But It's not the Force. The Force. Yes, the Force. They played the Force. Played
the Canes. They got beaten.
Force played the Canes.
14 to 44.
Force? I didn't know he was playing for them.
Chase Tier.
No, the greatest ever signing in the
Harry
history.
Potter.
The boy who lived.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah, he's a bit of a journeyman. He's played for a few teams.
Oh my god!
He's been around the show. He's magic.
Oh, he is magic. Look, I thought he was a Quidditch specialist. Yeah, I really did.
He's
but
played for the Force. He got yellow carded within like 3 minutes.
Yeah, well,
that was not so magic.
Quidditch is a rough sport.
Yeah.
You know.
He needs to tone it down for rugby a bit.
But he was a glory boy in Quidditch. He was a seeker. You know. What was the seeker's job?
Quidditch is a dumb sport. Like this is like
this is a super dumb sport.
Nobody thought the rules. Like all the other crap doesn't matter as long as you catch the thing, right?
No, yeah, it's as if basically it's like, let's take rugby. Let's just so the game of rugby and the Quidditch. Let's, for argument's sake, it's the same. But for whatever reason,
a drop goal's with like 100 points and ends the game.
No, there's a AI controlled golf ball
right
in the stadium, and two guys are just trying to find that.
Right.
And whoever finds it from what team and it finishes the game has zero to do with the actual game that's actually going on. Like,
and if you get that, you win.
Yeah, you win.
So the on-field product actually doesn't matter.
No.
How the fuck did that pass the editor?
But no, it was J.K. Rowling writing what she thought a sport would look like.
But how did the editor not go, this doesn't make sense? Well, you need to reread
I don't know. I think J.K. Rowling is, in her office with her billions of dollars.
But that was before she was real famous, right?
Yeah, I know, but it obviously worked out is what
when
I'm
she
trying to say.
put the manuscript for Harry Potter in,
she always said, whoa, this whole thing you got about the snitch?
Isn't that what an editor's job is?
No, the editor's job is they can query and all that sort of stuff and
I'm saying they should have queried.
And also this sort of bit doesn't quite make...
Doesn't make a lick of sense. It must have been a non-sports fan.
People love it. People love Quidditch.
It's dumb as dog shit.
Yeah. Do you think you would have been a bludger? Or what do you think you would have been?
I would have been, I'm going to go fucking watch something else because this sport's dumb as dog shit. Does not matter.
You would have watched guys flying around
no. How dumb is that sport? Sorry.
The Weasleys were pretty good, the Weasley twins.
So dumb.
But Harry, who the fuck calls a kid Harry when his last name is Potter? It's like...
And I feel like he's...
It's like being Christ and calling yourself kid Jesus.
He should go by Harold, surely.
But Harry Potter.
Harold Potter, at least
Harry Potter.
I don't know.
Well, because he was so Harry Potter came out in 1997, right?
Yeah.
So how old's this kid? This kid was born post 1997.
Maybe his parents didn't follow the fantasy
Harry
genre.
Potter has been a sensation since the mid to late 90s.
He's 26 years old. So he was born in 97. So it's just unfortunate.
Do you reckon it is? No.
Maybe they just picked up the book and that's a cool book. It might get popular. I don't know.
Harry Potter.
Very unfortunate.
The boy who lived.
Very unfortunate.
Wow, and he got red card. He got yellow card.
Yeah.
Away.
Yeah.
My God, I've never heard of him before. To be honest.
Oh no, he's been around for a few years.
But I was just because I kept on. Because Madison's not even into football, but we listen to when we drive places. I put Audible on. We listen to Harry Potter.
Right.
And we're into. Just got through the Philosopher's Stone onto the Chamber of Secrets now. But I have to. She's 6, so can't go past the Chamber of Secrets.
Gets a bit heavy.
It gets a bit dark when you get Prisoner of Azkaban. But anyway, and then she was walking through and it said, and Harry Potter takes it up or something like that. She was like,
what?
Did you say Harry Potter?
Yeah.
It's like, yes.
Yeah, no, he was with the Rebels and then he was with Leicester over in the UK and then now he's back in Australia with the Force.
So his family are the Potters.
They're Muggles, I think.
You think?
Maybe.
Well,
anyway,
mother was from a Muggle family.
This is a hell of a tangent.
But the Potters are a magical family.
Right. Oh, no, that's right. Yeah. Who's the parents of the Muggles? It's Hermione, whose parents are Muggles. So.
Yeah. And
I'm not that much.
The derogatory term for someone from Muggle family is mudblood.
Okay. I've never read the books.
Well, you're a Muggle. Have you never read the books?
No.
Oh, they're great.
I've read Lord of the Rings.
I've never read The Lord of the Rings.
The first one I found a bit of a drag.
Well, that's the thing. I've read the first few chapters of The Lord of the Rings a few times because everyone's been like,
J.R.
my mum's always
Tolkien,
said
I think, really loves trees. I've only read it once. I really remember him going on about trees for a long time, and I was like,
yeah,
these
and
trees.
bloody what's his name? Guy who's still writing the bloody Game of Thrones.
Oh,
books.
yeah.
What's his name?
Martin.
George Martin. He really likes food. So he describes like black pheasant pie with a crusty.
He's not going to finish those books.
It's so heartbreaking.
Yeah. I actually read those books before the TV show.
Jon Snow has been, spoiler alert, like he has been lying in the snow after being killed by the other brothers of the Night's Watch.
For a long time.
Coming out since when? 2011, that last book came out?
He's not going to finish it.
Oh, we won't even get wins, do you think?
Nah.
Winds of Winter. So Winds of Winter and Dream of Spring. He's going to have to be like 100 to get...
Yeah, no, it's not. I've just accepted the fact it's not going to happen.
So upsetting.
I used to really like those books because
They're great books.
They came out semi-regularly.
Yeah.
Then the TV show happened and I was excited, and then he stopped writing books.
He stopped writing it. Well, he got out Storm. It's not Storm Swords. What's the last one? It's with the Dragon. What is it called? Last book. So it
Dance
goes
of Dragons?
Dance of Dragons. Yeah. So it's Game of Thrones. What's the second one? It's Clash of Kings. Feast for Crows.
Feast for Crows I found a bit of a slog, to be honest.
Feast for Crows is a little bit of a slog. It brings in some other characters and stuff.
Feast for Crows is a bit dry.
You're like, why am I reading about Urian?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, God.
Tangents, man. Fucking hell.
People are on tangents.
This started with the Force playing the Hurricanes. 44-14.
It was a good game to watch. A couple of cracking tries. I like the look of
Viljoen, the number 9.
Yeah, I did like the look. Terrible little braid thing going on. His old man was a
Springbok, and his granddad was Springbok.
Yeah, he looked great. And he looks like a real number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Like small, nuggety. Scored that great try from what's his name? Rob. Who's the number 15 for the?
Rob Lowe is an actor, I think.
The number 15 for the
James Lowe plays for Ireland.
The number 15 for the Canes.
Who was playing 15 for the Canes in the week?
Guy gets injured a lot, but when he plays, he looks pretty classy.
I was thinking of Morby, but he was on the wing.
Well, he played and he kind of set that up and went into his, we're the best, I'm the best rugby analyst ever.
Let's just talk about Harry Potter.
That's the thing. People think I'm retarded and then they're like, well, he knows a lot about Harry Potter. Oh, look, he knew all the books for Game of Thrones, but can't tell you what the name of the number... Love?
Oh, Ruben Love.
There we go! Your boy gets it! Your boy comes through!
Gets there in the end.
Hurt my shoulder.
Getting old.
Oh, God. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I thought he looked good. That's all I was trying to say. Did you think he looked good?
The beer's not great.
You don't like it? You don't like a hazy? You haven't finished it. Do you want to go on to this one? You can just drink it out of the can.
Look at this one.
Oh, you did. It's a Pilsner.
This is not great.
Oh, jeez, it's no pleasing some people. Don't send me your beers, you'll criticise them.
I'm pretty easy with beers, actually.
Do you reckon what's wrong with this?
Don't know. Reminds me of a urinal. Don't know why. You know when I watched the first ever, I'm just going to do it, Tony. The first Lord of the Rings movie came out.
Yes.
Right? I went to see it with my mates.
Uh-huh.
And I had a lot to drink before that movie.
That's not a good idea.
That movie was really long.
How your bladder?
I had to piss for about the last hour of that movie. And I didn't want to leave because I was enjoying the movie, but I was in agony.
You stop enjoying it. I get to what I've gone for a piss during the movies a few times.
Yeah, no, I held it, and I went to the urinal at the end of the movie, and there was a lot of guys going to the urinal saying, "I managed to get spot." Almost better than sex. That piss. That was the most satisfying piss of my life.
I remember.
I don't want to do that again because it was agony in the build-up, but that was unbelievable. That was almost like a drug.
I totally get what you're saying. I remember my 7th form year, the first 15 was playing the final of I'd been dropped from the first 15 earlier in the year because I didn't want to practice during the school holidays, and I got glandular fever. But I was still very much a supporter. It was North Harbour Stadium, and we won. We won against Westlake.
Nice.
Grand final, it was a wonderful day, all that sort of thing. And then there was going to be a massive party at one of the players' house, Richard Campbell's house, and He's fucking out in Copper somewhere. So, but I remember there was like a party bus picking us all up from somewhere in bloody Takapuna, and I was slamming beers beforehand, and then I was like just as I went on the bus, I was like, I need a piss. I was like, then I just was walking on. I was like, well, better hold it. And I was sitting next to, of all people, Rudy Wolf.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I was future All Black.
Nice.
Future All Black, and I was like, I really need a piss, and we're fucking barely in Albany, and like got like another 45 minutes to go, and like I was just like, and then he could see that I was really, and he's the nicest human being you'll ever meet in your life.
He's rough as guts on the rugby field.
He's sweet and kind and loving and just a beautiful man. And I was like sweating bricks, like I was like, I'm gonna piss myself on this bus full of like everybody I know. Yeah, and he was like trying to talk me through it, like I was running a marathon. It's like, you got it, bro. Just hold it. I was like, don't think. I'm gonna piss. He was like, just keep going, man. We'll be there in like 5
5 minutes.
So I managed to get there, and I just managed to get off the bus, and yeah, I remember taking that piss and just being like, oh my gosh.
This is the greatest sensation of my life.
This is almost worth the pain.
Yeah, I know.
There's a pain.
Yeah, that's right. It was a great feeling.
It was the payoff was just incredible.
Yeah. Well, we're on the same page there. We've both been there and done that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nice week. All right. Well, what were we talking about?
On this rugby podcast.
Yeah.
The Blues had a good win over the Fijian and Drua. They lost the second half.
This is the first time I've worn jeans this year.
I haven't worn jeans yet.
It's too early. I'm feeling too warm.
Still a bit muggy.
It's
It's not raining.
Yeah, it's not raining today. We've had good weather, but we've had a couple of days of rain.
34 points to 10.
Who are the teams?
The Blues and the Drua.
Oh,
Up in Whangarei.
speaking of muggy, bloody 29
It
degrees.
looked awfully hot.
It looks stinky.
Good crowd though.
Yeah, really great crowd for up
That's
there.
the only one I didn't see the figures released for.
Yeah,
Like Chiefs was like 14 and a half, Rebels was only 4.
but it was
like I
definitely,
mentioned.
it looked impressive.
The Highlanders was more than 10. The Zoo looked bloody great. I think that's the best crowd in New Zealand is that Zoo.
Yeah.
All those uni
Really
students.
getting into it, having fun.
They love it.
Yeah.
And there was like, even though Suncorp looks empty, there was still 14 and a half at, it was 16 at the Chiefs, 14 and a half at the Reds Waratahs game.
Yeah, right.
Which just looks empty because it's a huge stadium.
Yeah. But anyway, the game itself, the Blues are looking sharp.
Mm-hmm. Caleb Clark looks trim.
Yeah, he does.
Oscar Sassoon looked a bit fired up.
Yeah. I still question his defence a little bit. Dropped off a tackle. Like, come on, man, you could do better than that. But yeah, he seems to be throwing himself around the park.
Second half was maybe a little bit
I like, I really love the look of, what's his name, Wagner, the German.
Oh yeah, Signa.
I think do you think he could get a test?
No.
He's too small. Needs a bit more.
I don't think he'll make the All Blacks.
He needs a bit more meat on the bone.
He's a good player.
Yeah, very good player.
We got heaps of good Lucy's, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty far down the list at this
I
stage.
think so.
But no, looks pretty good all round in terms of where the Blues are right now. Petafetto, was he playing 10?
Yep.
He didn't put too many feet wrong.
No, good as gold. And the Reds beat the Waratahs 40 points to 22. That one had a controversial one.
I have not seen any highlights. I haven't seen the game. Tell me.
There was a moment where the Reds put a ball through, and Jorgensen, who was that youngster, like the 18-year-old who made the Wallabies squad for the World Cup and was still injured throughout, he tackled the guy who caught the, was it Plaisame? I can't remember, but well, it was Pataya. He tackled him like as he was getting the ball, but they ruled it like
early tackle.
Yeah, he kind of tackled him knowing. I can't remember where the
He tackled him knowing that he was going to catch the ball.
Basically, but before just slightly before he had it, it was bloody marginal, but he got yellow carded and it was a penalty try. And it was like, ow, tough.
Really rough.
Yeah, a bit of a harsh one, but
speaking of weird
40 points
things seeing on the field, what's the name of? Is it Ginge? The guy who was on the. They pinpointed a moment in the game where he was clearing out a ruck, like this could be suspicious play here. This could be dangerous play, and he drops
Oh.
Drops the shoulder in, and it looks like he's taking out someone's head.
And he hits his own man.
He's just running into his own player.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was interesting. Yeah, I like that.
What do you think of the mouth guards?
I heard it kind of as a bit of a post-mortem more than anything.
Yeah, they've got these mouth guards which have got smart mouth guards, so they can detect concussions, basically, like levels of impact which would be concussion worthy. So if the mouth guard triggers to the team, they sub them off for an HIA.
Question for you though: if you were marketing that product, what would you call the product?
I don't know.
Well,
I'm not a salesman.
give me some. Would you give you two
Mouth guard plus.
Put the plus in there.
Everything's a freaking plus these days.
Would you call it the smart guard or the smart mouth?
Well, not the second one.
Yeah, I like the smart mouth. You know,
I
because
bet
it's
you
about people remembering shit. You know, are you gonna remember smart guard?
I gotta remember this beer. It has to look like piss.
You're gonna stop drinking your own piss.
Yeah, I know. It's a bad habit.
To be fair, urinal cakes are delicious.
Exactly. They're called cakes for a reason.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I mean, ALB got substituted at one point
And they were both
because
like,
he was like, "What? I don't even." Yeah.
This
But
is
it's one of those ones where do you believe the player, or does maybe the player doesn't even know what's in his best interests?
I remember a few years ago I was at a mate's batch and he's got a big backyard and we were kicking a ball around and I was wearing an Apple Watch
Right.
and I was just taking bombs. I'm not an athlete or anything, right? But
Really? Shit. You know, I was thinking you, Rudy Wolf. Like, come on.
no, so I wasn't. You know, my heart rate would have been up. I was running around trying to catch balls. So I would have like through the like late 30s at the time.
See your Apple Watch called the ambulance for you.
But then I was catching high balls, and they were like because we just kick bombs at each other basically. Yeah. And you go bam, and it's a bit of an impact. Boom.
Yeah.
And then wanted to call the fucking police.
Right.
But it was the police. Get this man! It was like
because I thought you were in a fire or something.
I thought that I had been in a car crash.
Oh.
Like I thought I had an impact. It was
right.
like, and I was like, "Do you want us to call that?" I was like, "No,
no, not yet."
No, yeah, I am about to have a heart attack though, so maybe you should just bring it.
Looking out for your best interests.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the technology will get better the more they use it.
Yeah.
So, I think it's good to have, even if it's got some teething issues. Teething.
Teething?
Yes.
How is that a callback to anything?
Your mouth guard.
Oh.
It's in
I can be really big.
There's a connection between your mouth and your teeth.
Yeah, there we go. Teething issues. Go. No.
Good times.
We're smashing out of the park today.
We are. I think we're on our game when we're talking Lord of the Rings.
Harry Potter.
Have you read Dune?
Well, no, I haven't read Dune.
Have you read Interview with a Vampire?
No.
That book sucks shit. I watched the movie and I was like, that's a pretty good movie. I read the book and I was like, it doesn't even have chapters. Have you read The Da Vinci Code?
No.
Like that book has got, some TV show made a joke about how it's got really short chapters so it makes you feel smart. And it is really satisfying because you like turn 2 pages like, finish another chapter. Like it's quite satisfying, but if memory serves, Interview with the Vampire has no chapters. So it's just like
a dirge.
Yeah. There's no break. There's no like natural stopping point.
You need a.
I like to read to the end of the chapter so then I can.
You need a point to go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Give me a fucking chapter. Anne Rice or whatever her name is.
Yeah, Anne.
Is she alive? I think she might be dead.
Well, we pay respect to your memory if you passed away.
Yeah, good book recommendations.
Good book recommendations. What am I reading at the moment? I'm reading, oh god, what's the name of the guy who, I'm reading his book at the moment, but it's all about creativity and about finding what makes creativity work and letting it flow. He's the he's the sound recordist for like the Beastie Boys, for like...
I'm not going to know this one.
For Jay-Z, for all that sort of stuff.
Definitely not going to know.
It's good. It's like creativity's the answer or something like that. I'm enjoying that. I'm not taking much from it, but I'm enjoying it. What are you reading at the moment?
A book on Chinese history. The Sino-Japanese War.
What is it called?
It's called Kanjun.
Really?
Yeah.
And you know what? It would have been really racist of me if I said, what's it called? And I went, Kang Chang, and you would have been like,
But that is the actual name, which kind of means like the defensive war, I guess, like the war. It's like a justified war because the Chinese were on the defensive for that one.
Shang Tzu's.
Sun Tzu's, yeah. I've never read it.
The Art of War, and I was like,
it's a bit vague.
It is a bit vague.
So it's like one of those ones where they think it wasn't actually written by one guy. The guy himself may not have existed. Yeah, it's like one of those collaborative things that just like became a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never actually read it.
Yeah, you read a lot of like summaries of it, and you're like, oh, the summaries sound pretty good. Like the points that they make about.
You know what was a tough read?
What?
The Iliad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you need to read it with like a guide on what the hell it means. It'll be like, this guy, who you've never heard of, but if you were an ancient Greek person, you'd know who that was, killed this guy and took his armor. So and you're like...
It's about like the Silmarillion.
Okay.
Yeah. You read the Silmarillion?
No.
Well, I've never read the Silmarillion. The Silmarillion is like the folklore and shit.
Right. Okay. I mean, to put it in rugby terms, the Iliad is like, it'd be like saying, Amaro Toja just smashed James Lowe, but you have no fucking idea who those guys are. Right. So there's no context for you, but the assumption for the reader was you would, of course you would know who these people are.
So like, it's all about Greek gods and stuff.
Yeah, heroes. So it was
Who's
tough.
your favourite Greek god?
Maybe Ares.
I like Dionysus.
Oh, because he likes his drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only went with Ares because his Roman name is Mars, and Mars Mark. Boom, boom.
Dionysus is the Greek god of wine, sex, and love.
There you go. What I like about the Greek gods compared to the Roman gods, even though the same gods.
Flaws?
Yeah, they have flaws. They're not like the good guys. They're just like some fuckwits who like to mess with people.
Yeah.
This is the weirdest podcast I think we've done.
There
was so much rugby on and we got so
have you read
all over the show.
Like, what is it? The guy who wrote all the plays, he wrote the Wasps and the Bees. Is it Aristophanes?
No.
Anyway, Greek god, like they're about mortal creature characters. It's a Greek, but then the Greek gods, they just casually turn up in them.
Oh, okay.
Or something. Like then Dionysus will come on. He's always depicted with like a massive cock.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I can see you reading that book. Oh, you know when we finish up here, Lydia's going to be like, thank fuck you finished. You guys are just talking absolute
Rick Rubin! Rick Rubin!
I love Rick Rubin.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome.
Well, there's no Six Nations on the coming weekend. It's another fallow week. Super Rugby continues. Do me a favour, if you've listened through this much, holy shit, please watch on Wednesday. There'll be the team preview. I'll do the team roundup of all the teams that are announced, and I'm doing it for NZR Plus. So if you could watch it, I'm sure they'll be looking at some stats.
Please!
Do me a personal favour.
He needs to feed his family.
I don't ask for much.
He doesn't ask for much. Just watch this video.
Please.
For God's sake.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
But if you wanted to get into Super Rugby, hopefully it'll be a useful video anyway.
I think it's hard for Europeans to get into Super Rugby as it's hard for us to get into.
You need to have a team. Just pick one team. That's what I do with the ice hockey. I follow one team. I don't watch any of the other games.
Yeah.
I don't know, apart from the star players from the other teams, I don't know any of their players.
When it gets to the
I
finals,
know my team's players, and I know the star players from the other teams. That's it.
And when it gets to the finals, you're like, oh, that guy was good when he pants my team.
Yeah, that's right. That's where I'm at. And I figure a lot of people are like that with rugby. So pick a Super Rugby team. It can be the Blues if you want.
Could be I'd go the Chiefs or the Canes. Or the Highlanders. No, Chiefs or the Canes, I reckon. Chiefs.
Or Blues.
We're Blues fans.
Yeah. Join us in misery.
Come. Watch us lose in the semi-finals.
We better wrap it up.
We should. Well done, Mark.
Thank you. Go read a book. It's good for you. Reading is good. I still read books.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a bit thick.
I don't read as much as I should.
Me neither. I like to read before bed because then I get the kind of no screen time thing right before bed.
Absolutely.
Helps me sleep.
I just watch distracted sports videos on my head.
And jerk yourself off.
Yeah. It's a really weird wank. Sure is. There's no feeling like semen.
Sorry, Dad, if you listen to this whole thing. Sorry.
After you went off into your own image, it's a very strange feeling. Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody. It's a podcast on Spotify.
And I have radio.
Apple Podcast.
Bye bye.